Hello. Okay, so if you're seeing this, there could be a message here for you, but let's figure out what this might be about. I don't know. Snowmen could have some relevance. I'm not sure. You could be getting to a more solid and stable position as you align with your higher self and move forward towards relationship dynamics that you are divinely guided within. Okay. Ooh, and you could be moving forward towards your long-term goals, what it is you're really trying to create and leave behind for others. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got the Page of Cups in a World. You could be having a message that you're wanting to share with others. That could be initiating towards a new beginning. Okay, you could have been working hard on certain dynamics within yourself or within your life and what it is that you're wanting to bring in, and you could be leveling up in different ways with a greater sense of maturity with how it is that you're going to express yourself. Okay. Got the Queen of Cups, the Hermit, Three of Swords, Ace of Wands, Four Cups, and the Death card. Okay, so you could be, really recognizing what it is that you feel is important to you. You could have been navigating through different situations that could have been painful and feeling much more inspired with what it is that you're wanting to open yourself up to in the future. Okay, you could have been allowing for a major transformation within your outlook and, what it is that you're really wanting to allow into your life as you move forward more intentionally. Okay. Let's see. And we got the Four of Wands right here and the Ten of Pentacles. So you could be leading yourself towards your ideal home and family and relationship life as you move forward and, initiate towards your long-term goals. We got the Chariot right here. You could be forging a new path, okay? Moving forward towards what your destined position is meant to be. Okay, yeah, we got the Hierophant and the Six of Swords, so you're definitely moving forward in a more aligned way with your higher self. You could be moving away from conflict and difficulty and creating a greater sense of alignment within yourself. Okay, we have the Strength and the Five of Cups. You could be, really kind of realizing that you have the capacity and the ability to navigate through different outlooks of loss, and you could be feeling much more stable and secure. Let's see. Let me see. All right. You can move forward with a true resolve with what it is that you are wanting to focus on and the position that you are aligning yourself. Okay, you have certain major shifts and changes within relationships and team dynamics and partnerships, and you could have previously been restricting yourself from certain outlooks of, what you should or shouldn't allow, and at this point you're making much more loving choices, not only for yourself but for others. Okay, and you could be getting ready to kind of merge across, vast distances, kind of bring together closeness. Okay, pretty picture right there. All right, so let's see what else there is. Let me check some different deck. I have you could be navigating through different conflict, staying true to yourself and knowing what it is that you're, desiring of. Opening yourself up in a much more confident way feeling like you're open to adventure and wanting to take action that is going to, excuse me, bring you into this position in a way where you are communicating openly, have a true focus and like a target towards, you know, where it is that you are desiring to go. Okay. And even with this imagery right here, all of these are, you know, they have the wand that it's connected to with the light, and then there's this one with no wand yet, you know, so it's like there's this, and that's the heart chakra position, right? So it's like you could be wanting to you really kind of move into a position where you can have this true alignment coming into your life. Okay, it's like you have a recognition of what it is that you've done previously and where you're wanting to take yourself next. And we get the sun right here. Okay, so you're moving forward towards a positive new beginning as you close out cycles of pain and negativity, and get more stabilized when it comes to what you feel is like a leap of faith. Okay, you could be feeling much more, I guess, confident is the word right now. With within relationships that you're desiring of, and you know, the expressing yourself in a loving way. Okay, I had some weird dreams last night, and they were like not bad at all. They were all kind of just good dreams, but they're silly and strange. So part of them are already being brought up based on what I was saying right now, but we're just gonna keep going and wait until I think it's like totally irrelevant. So anyway, yeah, with the High Priestess, there's a need for you to follow your intuition and make plans accordingly. Okay, so you'll be reaching for higher heights and also grounding yourself in a way where you know that you're aligning with your long-term goals and where it is that you're desiring to be. We got the Six of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. You're moving into a much more successful and victorious new chapter. Okay, and you got 2-2 right there. You can be making plans in situations that you may have felt blocked by, or you could have been anxious within, but you could be, you know, kind of more intentionally open to making certain difficult choices. And you could have been feeling like you've learned what you needed to, you know, spent the time educating yourself, and now it's like you could be feeling much more liberated with your emotional expression, nurturing yourself and others, okay? And moving in a much more healed way. So that's cool. Let's see. What do we need to know? One. Just one. Okay, 2 cards. Aww. So we got the 7 of Wands. Justice. Okay, so you could be staying true to yourself and really moving forward in a way that you know is truly aligned. You're creating a balance within your life, and getting to a greater sense of truth and clarity with what it is that you're embracing. You could be, you know, rising above different oppositional dynamics and moving successfully while closing out old cycles of, you know, negativity and moving into a much more victorious time in your life. Okay, we got the Fool right here. There could be a leap of faith that you're deciding on taking, and you could have a greater sense of confidence within this. Confidence again. Knowing that you're leading yourself to a much more successful position, okay? You could have recognized what it was that was lacking in your life previously as you look at things from a different direction or perspective, and you could be surrendering in more intentionally into a much more emotionally fulfilling new beginning. Okay, we have a soulmate dynamic. You could be, you know, healing your inner child and getting to a much more joyful expression, more intentionally creating and moving forward in a way that you feel that you have gained the motivation and the control in order to take these steps more intentionally, okay, with expressing yourself, or, you know, taking action in a way that you know is aligned with what it is that you're truly wanting to manifest. All right, we got a messenger of water. Oof, my back. So you could be, you know, really following your heart, knowing what it is that you're not wanting to open yourself up to, and moving more intentionally to embark upon, you know, the home life, relationships, and, you know, all around kind of like well-rounded dynamic of what it is that you are, you know, really wanting to create. You could be healing yourself as you navigate through different illusionary aspects and walk away from what isn't truly in alignment with your long-term goals, and getting to a greater sense of stability when it comes to certain situations that you've been anxious about. Okay, that's cool. For some reason, I feel like I'm like generalizing, and that might be something that you could have been doing in certain ways. But you could be getting to a greater understanding of greater depth of detail, and you know, having let me see, a more in-depth awareness of you know, the truth of a scenario. Okay. And you could be wanting to express yourself in a way that you feel is truly nurturing yourself and others. And you could be moving forward confidently in situations you feel you may have been blocked from, knowing that this is a wish come true and a new beginning that you could be, you know, kind of recognizing different elements of control or manipulation as you navigate through. And there could be major shifts and changes in your life, but it's bringing you to a greater sense of calm within your environment, and you could be having your head and your heart in alignment. We got the King of Water and King of Cups and King of Swords. So you could be having a greater alignment with your emotions and, you know, what you feel logically, okay? And you could be ready to initiate in a way where you're expressing yourself and launching forward. Let's see. Okay. And you could also be recognizing that you're receiving the same type of energy that you're giving out, okay? So 6-6 could be relevant, but you're able to move forward more confidently with the understanding that what you're expressing in an open and honest way is also going to be reciprocated. We got the Two of Cups right here, so you could be recognizing that there, you know, you have been divinely guided on your end, and you could be meeting up with someone who is also divinely guided on theirs, where you can come together and truly, you know, have a true recognition of the paths that you've been on and how they are now intersecting. Okay. All right. You could be really preparing yourself to present or receive some type of offer, and know that this is creating a stability within what it is that you're wanting to create, and within the foundation that you are courageously opening yourself up to. Okay, you could be feeling that you've gotten a greater sense of strength within you, that you can feel even in intimidating scenarios. You could be feeling like you are able to navigate through peaceably and easily, in a way where you're not having to force things, but you can just kind of be openly expressive, and there's a receptivity. Okay. Aww. You be recognizing that you've been restricting yourself from true loving dynamics. And as you go inward and really kind of take the time to figure out what's important, you could be ready to move forward into a new chapter and move in into a more aligned position for yourself, maintaining the vision that you've desired of, and you know, recognizing that as you stay true to your intuition, you're leveling up and able to address different toxic or unhealthy dynamics or fearful situations or situations that are presenting fear, and move forward in a way that you're focusing on what it is that you're truly desiring of. Okay, so instead of focusing on the negativity or the stress of a situation, you could be feeling like you're still confidently moving forward, disregarding the stress and opening yourself up to you know, what is meant to come in for you. Okay, we got fear right here and love. So there could be a relationship that you are, you know, kind of fearful of presenting yourself with. There could have been a lack of clarity or certain games that someone was playing or something like that. But this could have been leading you to certain, you know, aspects of feeling uncomfortable or insecure. But you could be recognizing that there were certain situations that were being corrupted out of your hands. And at this point, you could be feeling more confident based on the awarenesses that you formed in moving forward independently and fearlessly. So instead of focusing on scenarios that the other people are trying to paint a picture, you could be moving forward more confidently and asserting yourself in a way that you know that you're meant to. Okay. And you could be recognizing the spiritual guidance that you're receiving and feeling much more at ease within this awareness. You could have been dealing with people who had narcissistic tendencies, and instead of like succumbing to this, you could be, you know, having the awarenesses that you're needing to in order to navigate the way that you know you're meant to. Okay. And let's see. Oof. So yeah, you could be like still maintaining your friendly and reliable or helpful demeanor, recognizing that outlooks or aspects of isolation or abandonment, if I could say words right now, what that word, you could have been recognizing that the isolation outlook that you could have been feeling in certain ways was false. Okay. And you could be having you know, true allies coming into your life. Okay. You could be feeling regretful with what it is that you feel that you could have been missing out on, but you're moving forward into a position of success where you can feel the confidence, like I was talking about earlier, knowing that you are guarded, safe, and secure from whatever toxicity or harmful intentions other people might have. And you could be moving forward in a way where you know that you are receiving what it is that you're meant to. Okay. You could be looking at things in a much more abundant way, and looking forward to what it is that you can be forming and creating. Okay, there could have been other people who were trying to take away from your spiritual gifts or awareness, but just maintain your independence in a way where you know that you're working on things as you're meant to. Okay, regardless of whatever group or whatever type of associations you have that are opposing you, okay, that have turned their back on you. Just kind of create a balance within yourself. Pay attention to your intuition, and don't allow for, you know, the games that are being that are trying to be played to continue. Okay, you could be recognizing that there could have been certain substances that were let me see, creating a different thought process, or, you know, kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Getting in the way, I guess, right? Of the true, you know, level up or gains that you could be embracing, and that you are, there could have been certain, let me see, like, intentions by others to make you feel less than or insecure, and those scenarios are false. Okay, so whatever it is that other people were trying to, you know, implant within you based on their behavior, you could be recognizing that there's untruths that are no longer needing to dominate the situation. Okay, pay attention to your emotions, okay, and your intuition and the guidance that you're receiving, okay, and recognize that as long as you continue to move in a way where you feel content and secure with the influence that you have on others, or, you know, your true expression, you could be moving in a way where you're creating a balance when it comes to what you've been blocked from previously. Okay, so instead of feeling like you know, what you're desiring of is unattainable, just kind of, you know, move forward confidently with your truth, and you'll be creating the balance that you're needing to. Okay. All right, let's see. You could have been having some certain commitments, contracts, agreements, or obligations that were leaving you feeling vulnerable or exposed based on emotional manipulation. You could have been feeling unstable and overwhelmed based on other people's, you know, negativity, you know, whispering into your ear. But as you work forward more intentionally towards the work that you know that you're meant to be doing, you'll be leveling up and gaining access to the desired position that you're wanting to be. So instead of succumbing to other people's negativity, just move forward in the way that you're feeling guided, and you'll be where you want to be. You'll have the keys. Okay, we got, you have the power right there. Okay, you'd be, you know, really empowering yourself to you know, no longer rely on the influence or input of others. Okay, recognizing what had been disingenuous or false in your life. Okay, and recognizing that there could have been people who were, let me see, we got witchy, sister, and candle magic right here. So it's like there could have been people who were, you know, involving themselves into, you know, too much spell work and, you know, trying to falsify situations. Okay, so just kind of, you know, as you recognize this, don't allow for that to navigate or narrate for you, and move in a way where you are aligned with source and making more loving choices, not only for yourself but for others, and, you know, move forward in a way that you're wanting to present yourself. Okay, and you could be moving forward into a desired union, Okay, recognizing that there were people who were trying to create illusionary aspects. There were secret collaborations that were trying to hinder, interfere, or intrude or block this, union. And you could be surprised by the amount of work that somebody's put into a situation in order to nag on you, basically, like in order to implant false outlooks. Okay, and you could be recognizing it's based on their own pretentiousness or superficiality. Oh, my back. Okay, so let's see. Oops, I forgot there's some right here. All right. So you could have been having different people's projections put on you that have made you feel rejected or abandoned or left behind. Okay, but just need to stay within your own sense of optimism of what you're truly desiring to come in, and move independently, honestly, and loyal, in a way that you are maintaining your same energy and not succumbing to the negativity of others. Okay. What else do you need to know? A lot of cards right there. You got a secret. What's your secret? That's a lot of cards. We'll just get a little secret. Uh-oh. It's a big secret. They want me to take this whole thing? Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. It's a secret. Alright, yeah, you could have been being watched by people who were trying to deceive you. Okay, they could have been in the background, not wanting to present themselves intentionally, but they could have been trying to restrict you, bind you, okay, with toxicity, negativity, and karmic energy, okay? Yeah, they could have been, even trying to present themselves as somebody else, but look what we got. This is a big secret. Jeez. There could be this underlying awareness that nobody is presenting at this time, that they're actually really drawn to you, okay? They could be feeling, lustful, but also infatuated or truly attracted, okay? And somebody could be wanting to be patient, but they're navigating through different unhealthy awarenesses, trying to recognize what they need in order to heal, okay? And somebody could be feeling unconditional love towards you, but they could have also been, navigating in a way that was harmful, okay? Somebody could be wanting to adapt and communicate in a a smart way, okay? They could be wanting to bring in a more playful energy, but they could be feeling nervous. And but somebody could be feeling optimistic about a bond and a like deeper closeness that they could be feeling. All right, they could be feeling that this is a truly abundant situation, but they're wanting to be practical. And patience has come up twice right here. So yeah, somebody's trying to be patient as they navigate through their own scenario, but they could have gotten to certain epiphanies that have made them want to move forward more independently and fearlessly. Okay. gossip or lies could have created self-doubt or insecurity, but somebody is getting to a more confident position. Okay, they're knowing what scenarios had been binding them from expressing themselves more openly and in an unrestricted way. And attendance. Somebody could be recognizing what type of influences they had been surrounded by that could have also been stopping them from moving forward more intentionally, but they could be feeling that the situation is truly destined and fated. Okay, so right, it could be third party dynamics that have been really kind of let me see, creating confusion or misalignment. Okay, but as somebody finds that they feel that they've gained certain knowledge of other worldly connections in the situation, they could be feeling much more enthusiastic and adventurous as far as navigating forward more intentionally, instead of dealing with instead of just staying within a corrupt outlook. Okay, so we got deity right there. Somebody could be wanting to step up, present themselves, and really align with their divinity. Okay, they could be facing their fear, and as they were trying to find out more about a situation, they could be recognizing that this connection could be having not only personal influence, but it could be affecting a larger collective. Okay, and they're recognizing that the chaotic intentions by others was really taking away from the knowledge that they had within them. Okay, and somebody's wanting to be shifting and altering their focus into a much more peaceful and harmonious position. Okay, they could have gotten certain warning signs, and they could be wanting to address the situation more intentionally in a loving way to create a greater sense of balance. All right, so I think I'm going to read part of the dream thing. Let me see. It was really weird because there was part of my dream that I couldn't remember, but it was like the last part where it was like being repeated over and over before I woke up. And then when I was like waking up and thinking about it, I'm like, what was that other part? And then this whole other part of my dream like rushed in, and I could remember all of that, but not the part that I was trying to. So it's kind of lame. But okay, so it says bringing back all parts of yourself into wholeness. Okay, and there's like this like stacking, like a pyramid type of imagery, and then come together. Okay, come together right now over me, that song. Kept repeating itself, and so that was the part that I couldn't really remember too much of, but it was like this like really kind of like the wholeness part was the feeling, where there's like the sense of security and contentment, and it was like, just kind of like bringing all these different parts into one, instead of it being this is over here and this is over there and all that other stuff, and it was just like this like I don't know, like this energy of everything like kind of aligning. Okay, and then the other part that I was remembering was that I was at like my house, even though it seemed like it was my childhood home, and I looked out the window and I saw what I thought was my uncle coming around, and I'm like, oh, he's probably got a question for my mom or something like that, or whatever. And then I opened the door thinking it was him, but then it was somebody else, and I'm like, I don't know you. But then they had a gift for me, and then that person's girlfriend, who was somebody that I knew apparently from childhood, but I was younger. This is all long, right? I was younger when we were, you know, I was younger than them in our childhood, like they were teens and I was a kid type of thing. So they knew more about me than I was really paying attention to, right? But they wanted to come over and give me a gift, and they were like happy with where I had been, like the position I'd come into, I guess. Okay, so it says older friend from childhood with her boyfriend coming by, to remind you of how far you've come, supportive and loving. And then there was another part. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna go back to that part. It says, took a while to remember who they were, but they know all about you and were informed by others of what your life is about while being surrounded by people. Wait, hold on. This is a little mixed up. Okay. And there was a lot of different people that, you know, like you could have been like, or this was, for me in my dream, it was like, there was all these people that I was like interested in, like a crush type or whatever, but never expressed myself. And they were being like loving and playful and open, but I was like, because I was like nervous based on how much I liked them or whatever. But let me see. Yeah, so there's people who are like showing their love openly, but didn't know how much more meaningful it was in certain ways. Like it was just all like this like playful dynamic, but it was like, you know. Anyway, and then there's a snowman on the porch. Okay, super random. But then let me see. I already said all this. And they were like giving me a gift of something that they knew that I liked when I was younger. So it was like a really kind of like a thoughtful dynamic that was being presented. But I was embarrassed because I couldn't remember her name. Okay, this is all super random, right? But the point I think of it was there was so many people like openly showing their love. Okay. While you could have been concerned, or this was me, right, with like judgment, okay, and insecurity. Other people were, you know, just presenting themselves in a way that was like really loving and non-judgmental, and kind of like it could have been like a different feeling, I guess, if that's not something you're used to. But that was the dream, and take it how it resonates for you. But it was so strange for me because I was just like. I didn't know how to feel. But there was such weird stuff going on. I'm not gonna keep going with it, but it was really interesting because I was we got renewal, wholeness, and creation. Okay, so there was just like this recognition of their awareness. Ooh. But it was like my feelings were the ones that were being kept under wraps, but everybody else was being really open. So anyway, rando. But we got a personal transformation, okay, that is creating harmony, delight, okay. You could be feeling like you could move forward in a way that is steadfast within your awareness, okay. And we have a childlike expression with righteousness and innocence. That could be really enlightening, okay? And also could be recognizing what type of abilities you have as far as being resourceful, okay? And, okay, so there's a need to clear your energy and move into a much more exploratory type of outlook, recognizing your skill and the completeness and the wholeness that you have within you. And we got the renewal card. So you could be moving into a position that's feeling, you know, that's leaving you feeling much more renewed. And like I was saying with the openness, there could be this like new sense of normalcy that you are opening yourself up to, okay, with apparently much more loving relationship dynamics, okay. Let's see what we got. So You could be in a position where you're needing to kind of surrender into the joy that you're feeling and what it is that you are determined to move forward towards. You're being protected from the outlook of resentment, okay, and moving forward in a way where you are, you know, appreciating the splendor in your life. You'll be making certain choices that you are wanting to persevere with, okay? And you could be moving forward with a shift. That's so funny. With passion. And look at this one. Look at it. It says openness. How funny is that, huh? It's funny that I like just read the dream and that was the main. Anyway, here we go. So you could be coming into a certain union that is giving you a greater sense of power, okay, and understanding. Let's see. You could be recognizing what your priorities are in a situation, and you could be moving forward in a enlightened way that's leading you towards a greater sense of healing. Okay, and you could be, you know, coming into wholeness, like I was saying, bringing all parts of you together, the darkness and the light, and you could be getting to a more powerful position within this union, creating order and peace in your life. Ah! Do, 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 do. Okay, and there could be major transformations that you're going through that is giving you a greater sense of faith and wisdom, and you can be really feeling confident with, you know, going inward in a way that is confirming the truths that you're coming into. Okay. You could be accepting of a spiritual quest and feeling like you're truly belonging on this path. Okay. After, you know, reflecting, you could be recognizing what it is that you're truly cultivating and creating and having a greater sense of fulfillment, being open and honest. Okay. Moving into prosperous new beginnings and gaining the insight that you're truly desiring of. Recognizing that you are protected. You could be having a greater sense of stability and equilibrium, moving forward into a beginning that is kind of like knowing that you're, you know, where you're starting things in a way that's like truly important, okay? And you could be having divine support in order to persevere and getting to a greater confidence within your inner knowing and the movement that you're taking. And we got courage and a promise of the future. How cute. You could be more, you know, more relaxed into the awareness of what you've been having the drive for, and you could be feeling much more empowered and open to the blessings that are meant to come in. Blessings and fruitfulness. Okay, so, and you could be moving in a way where you feel that you're healing and aligning with, it's weird, it feels all, look at, they're all weird. Anyway, you could be aligning in a way that is helping you to recognize that you're making the right moves for yourself. Oh, that's why. That's weird. Figured it out. Anyway, the number 6, 11, 11, 6 could be relevant. And 612. Okay. But you could be healing family issues and calling in your soulmate. You could have felt that there was unrequited love in certain situations, but this is a new love with a soulmate, okay? And there is attraction. You just need to love yourself first. And recognize that you have known each other before. It could be a past life dynamic, okay? You need to free yourself from the outlook that this is undesired by the other person, okay? And recognize that you could be enjoying blissful time together. Okay, we got honeymoon. And very soon, decide what you want. Or clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. You could be separate from this person right here, but there are religious and spiritual factors that are influencing the situation. And it says getting to know each other as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond will deepen. Okay, so you could be feeling, you know, that you are, you know, looking at a situation falsely, or, you know, like you could be feeling like you are misinterpreting signs or signals. But it says open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. It is safe for you to love. Okay, anything else we need? This is true love, the romance of a lifetime. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Have a heart-to-heart. Flirt, okay? Extend your lighthearted energy, and you have known each other before. Yeah, past life. There could have been addictions that were affecting the situation, okay? But at this point, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, okay? And stay optimistic. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Allow your youthful spirit of fun to shine. Be playful. And you could be needing to forgive previous familial issues in order to really open yourself up to this more loving dynamic at this time. And that's how I felt in my dream. That was weird that I just caught a new, oof, oh my gosh, my ankle. It's like, it's asleep. My ankle's sleeping. In my dream, like, I had these insecurities within myself and my, you know, upbringing, lifestyle, outlook, all these different things, and these people were just like so loving and open and like fun and joyful that it was just like kind of you know, what's the word, other than surprising, but it was kind of disconcerting in a certain way, where I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, like they're too nice or something, you know. But like it was like a shocking type of feeling, basically. Like it was just like a whole like new dynamic that I hadn't really gotten used to in certain ways, okay? And so it could be like a, what's the word I'm looking for, like it could be taking a minute to get used to this being a new normal, basically, you know. Like it was just like this, like, you know, there was like a hesitation, or let me see, like a feeling of being just kind of like, what's going on? I can't think of the word right now. It really could have been 3 sentences ago. Anyway, but yeah, so it was like this new shift of like having to open up to this being like a normalized lifestyle, instead of having you know, things be too serious or focused on the negative. Like there was like this like joyful and loving dynamic that was going on. So it could be something that's like a what's the word I'm thinking of? Something to get used to is all I'm gonna say. We're moving on. But get used to it. Okay. So Somebody could have been wearing a false mask. Okay, there could have been aspects of deception that were going on, but once somebody kind of opens themselves up, they could be recognizing that this is a truly romantic dynamic that they could be opening themselves up to, that could lead towards a marriage. The situation involves marriage and a wedding, okay? So your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations are helping to bring you together, okay? And there's a need to release yourself from the outlook of negativity, like I was saying. Allow for you, like an openness to express yourself. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. And connect in a way where you are, creating a true bond with each other outside of the influence of, community or worldly dynamics, okay? And just trust in your feelings, okay? The situation is calling for you to have faith. This is worth waiting for, okay? Divine timing is at work in your love life. And you need to love yourself first, okay? In order to really kind of allow for this in. But there's a strong magnetic attraction, and this could be the one. Okay. I think I'm gonna go, and maybe I'll do another reading later in a little bit, but my foot's asleep. But yeah, snowmen on porches could be relevant, or just multiple snowmen. Anyway, yeah, this is it for now, and hopefully this helped in some way. And sorry about the rando dream and all that other thing. But it was really interesting how it like got reconfirmed with the messages that I pulled out afterward. Anyway, have a good day and get excited for things, okay?